about everything. Fixing to take us into the beach area here in Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'll be heading on over to the Cherry Grove Fishing Pier area. This is my quaint little neighborhood that I live in. Here we go. It's actually a full moon right now. Should probably go ahead and take a shot of that. I believe I will. Let's see. What's the best way to do that? Alright. I'll do it like this. There it is. So I'm headed west right now. And now I'm turning south. So I'm headed towards the ocean from this vantage point, from this perspective, and it's about 4 miles away. All right. So the truth about everything, I'm exposing the truth about everything. If you think I've missed something, you could give me a call. You could send me a text. You could put it in a comment if you like. That would be just fine. So what are the topics when I say everything? Well, the World Central Bank creating loaning into existence with credit cards, with purchases of homes and stuff, homes and cars and stuff. And then people not only pay interest, in some cases very high interest, they also pay back the principal. It's the World Central Bank fiat Ponzi scheme that's been going on for a long time. I've got documentaries exposing that. So the short version is they're creating money, the World Central Bank is creating money out of thin air. How about that? So you could build cars and trucks and homes and subdivisions, or you could just create money out of thin air and buy it all. Like BlackRock, Vanguard. How about that? Thought you should know. A little bit too much truth for Twitter, or XAI, as Elon is now calling it. I've been permanently banned, apparently. I keep appealing. And what I'll do is I'll keep sending, since I can't tweet, I actually just go ahead and appeal often, daily, pretty much. I'll send them my research library. All of our data, not just mine, everybody's data pretty much is being tracked, traced, database, threat assessed. All of that. We're in a battle for eternity. The souls of people, just so you know. Evil. Wanted to make sure my mic was clear. Every now and again a little coconut oil gets clogged in the port there. Looks like I might have a little coconut oil on my lens. Now I can see the moon real clear. Let's see if I can show you. Right up there is where it is. Alright. So is what you believe actually true? Or is it something else? I ask that same question of what I believe And I ask God, the Almighty, my Heavenly Father, to know what's true. So when I say I'm exposing the truth about everything, I continually do that, and then I update my research library throughout the day. And then also, the artificial intelligence will remove videos sometimes, or channels, or information from my playlist. I believe if you look at the Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars document, you'll see the Twitter files there. I'm trying to get that little bit of stuff off the lens there. I'm not sure what shows up of me on Twitter. One of the other things you could type in, if you care to, is hashtag Robert Forsch, and then hashtag Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. The system of control is corrupting the data stream and the food, water, air, electronics, information, all of that. Apparently it found it more advantageous to just go ahead and permanently ban me from Twitter. And, you know, I've put out, my last tweet was actually to Elon Musk, as best I can remember with that. It may have been responding to somebody on the thread that he just posted or started. I'm not all angry with him. I've actually been trying to help wake him up. I believe he's under serious mind control. I've got documentation and evidence of that on my channel as well. There's a lot of people that are deceivers. They don't know it in many cases, or they may. Not sure. I can't know the motivation of anybody else's heart. It's hard enough even to operate obediently myself and operate in the power of the Spirit continually. I try to. I want to. That's my desire. That's why I'm not afraid to live, die, or tell the truth. I've already, by God's grace, realized that I'm actually born of His Spirit. So when this body of mine stops operating, I've been given eternal life in Christ. My destination has been predetermined by the Almighty. Not by me, not based on my performance, not by what I say or do. It's what He's already done. Done on the cross, and then done for me personally. I'm crossing over the waterway right now, the Intracoastal Waterway. Let's flip it around here. Going through a few cameras. Of course, they see the Truthmobile and the surfboard on the roof. I don't know of anybody else doing what I'm doing like this. And I'm not afraid to share other people's created content. I'm sharing the truth, exposing the truth, including from their own mouths in many cases, that are talking about, like Yuval Noah Harari, humans are now hackable. Well, I'm not exactly only human. The Bible says that that His children are foreigners and aliens in this land. So are aliens real? Yeah, absolutely. Who are the aliens? Where are they, Elon? You should know, you're the space guy, right? Oh, wow. My eyes are watering a lot. I'm in a detox right now. So I'm not crying now. I have cried. A trail of tears through this life. It's been very difficult, and it still is, just different. It's a different kind of difficult. Some people are just trying to figure out how they're going to survive, how they're going to pay their bills. That could happen to me at any time with what's on the horizon. Of course, what does that matter if I am called home? If the Most High says, yep, time to come home, I'm good to go. I'd be fine with that. So this used to be an empty field, and now it's the travel mart, the Bolanos Travel Center. Bolanos Corner, they call it. I was going to top off the car. I don't need to. It's only going to take a couple of gallons. I don't need to do that right now. So one of the things that I wanted to point out years ago, before this was completed, I wanted to find out if they were going to install a generator. And you can see it right there. It's an Olympian generator. How about that? It's a big one. Not only do you need the generator to power the refrigeration for the store and the lights, it's also for all the transactions digitally. And then you need the interconnectivity of the internet to make that happen as well. That's all part of the equation. And now with central bank digital currencies and biometric data that's going to need to be applied to show the worthiness of the transfer and the individual, it's the mark of the beast system, folks, is what I am saying. The mark of the beast, as in Revelation 13. Nobody can buy or sell without it. What is it? People get all bent out of shape about what they believe and what they say is true, and it's going to be like this or that, and people believe a lot of things. Are they true? For a while it was the RFID chip, what people thought. Now it's an iris scan, something like that. Oh, in my rear view mirror you can maybe see the, no, probably not, the law enforcement sitting there waiting. They catch me going the speed limit often. That's just what I do. No need for any unnecessary reminders that I should be going the speed limit. This is Sea Mountain Highway. The ocean is about a half a mile ahead from that vantage point. So people make all kinds of decisions, I know I have, that were not in my best interest, not the healthiest choices. And then some may say, well, God is going to get you. He's going to punish you. You know, what I found out in that, from the perspective of legalism, man, there were people spreading Jesus all over what they were doing publicly, and then privately they had some really major sin going on, as it was found out. You can think of Jimmy Swaggart. He's crying and oh, forgive me, and he's taking prostitutes and doing cocaine and all kinds of stuff. How about that? In the 80s. And then Jim Baker, and then we've got a lot of hidden sin that's not been widely known. So people have their heroes. Some of those heroes are perverts, pedophiles, sodomites, transgenders, deceivers. Oh well, how about that? What a bizarre world we live in. Now, I've done quite a few live streams from this location. It's the Russell Burgess Coastal Preserve. I'm just going to cut my interior lights out. That helps me to... Now it's more of easier to see, I should say. Is it a window or is it a mirror? Depends on lighting, largely. I've got an oddity with my electrical system. It'll do that where it doesn't. The light is supposed. The headlights are supposed to shut off when I turn off the ignition and all that. Well, anyway, it's an anomaly. So liquid mirror, the water. And now you can see the moon from this vantage point. There's the Prince Resort over there. So right now I'm facing directly south. So the moon's setting in the west. Where the sun and the moon appear and vanish on the horizon, and their duration of visibility indicates conclusively that they are on the move. The sun, moon, and stars move above the stationary level Earth. That's just one of the realities. That's whether you like it, believe it or not. I would say it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the reality. It changes the individual that believes the reality or knows. I actually know that we're on a stationary level Earth. It's not that I believe it. I know it. So there will be some globe haters, or haters that are globers. Anyway, people believe a lot of things. Is it actually true? So going through the red light cameras, got the, this is all visible, and there's so many other surveillance systems. Some people that say that, they would be called flat earthers will say, oh, you believe in satellites? You're controlled opposition or whatever. There's stuff flying around. What is it? There's stuff flying around in the atmosphere we're breathing in. What is all that stuff? Weather modification, weather and people modification technology. So, this is something I like to do. I like to consume nice, clean water, purified water, reverse osmosis, and then add a teaspoon of boron to a gallon of water, and a teaspoon of Himalayan salt. or a full spectrum sea salt. I'm getting some from Sicily now, a 27-pound bucket for 59 bucks. So Salt, it's called. I'm not selling any of this stuff, not that that's wrong. I just don't, that's not my main thing. I may have an Amazon affiliate thing at one time in the future. I don't have one working now. I've got people, crypto babes and chat bots that want me to get involved in doing cryptocurrency and claiming to be Elon Musk and sounding like they're from another country, like Pakistan or something. It's just so frustrating to encounter the liars. Oh, let's do this. Hey, Elon, going to Mars with the Mars camera, the red lens. How ridiculous. The secret space program is cyberspace, just so you know. That's what it is. They're mind controlling people, and then there are some that say you can't land a rocket down on a pad, it's fake. I've seen it, it looks like it can happen. That doesn't put a stamp of approval and authenticity and integrity on everything Elon does. I've got a recent video by Anonymous. When I say I've got, my research library contains video exposing how the shadow government or the cabal uses Elon as a front man to make all this tyranny look good. Is he the Antichrist? I don't know. It's not. A lot of people get their cosmology and eschatology and theology from the TV. And what could go wrong there? So we've got predictive programming, preemptive programming. We've got all kinds of programming to bamboozle humanity. How about that? So I had to send the Truthmobile Prius to the pick and pull salvage yard in Conway. It doesn't mean they send it through a crusher right away. I don't know that they ever will. There were a lot of good parts on that car. It's just that it needed $2,916 worth of repair that I couldn't afford. When I paid $1,250 for a car that rode and drove really nice for a while, and then stopped driving. And that's what happens with the computer system. It just locked it out. I reset it a bunch of times, taking the positive lead off the battery, and then it just started shutting it down. It was an internal brake fluid leak on the ABS system, and the whole hybrid operating system needed to be removed on the top of the engine, and then it needs to be a sophisticated piece of equipment and recalibration, and all of that needed to happen. Well, here's the moon again, upper left. Anyway, I wanted to say that because if you were wondering what happened, and it worked out very different than I had hoped or expected. This Truthmobile is working just fine, going to and from the beach. I don't know if it can handle a long distance drive anymore. It's been seen at the Flat Earth International conferences and has over 40 million views. as well as me. On a variety of venues, of course, mocking the truth. About the flat earth, yeah, that sounds kind of ridiculous. It's not flat. We've got texture above and below sea level. However, I've got videos talking about the flat earth, and I've talked about the so-called flat earth. I prefer stationary and level because I can conclusively prove that the earth isn't moving. Got evidence of it. Reality is evidence of it. You don't feel yourself spinning, wobbling, or gyrating, do you? I sure hope not. Yeah, now my light's turned off. How special. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thanks for caring. People ask me, how are you doing? Oh, excellent, all things considered. We've got technology that could make vehicles perpetual driving machines. I was looking at my Cybertruck order yesterday. I sent it to Elon and the quantum supercomputer emulation he's likely got operating his empire for the Department of Defense. He's a defense contractor, just so you know. If you're a fanboy or girl of Elon, you might want to know that he's a big part of the system. How about that? Do you have a problem with that? How about the weapons of war that are created to blow up innocent people for corporate greed? I got a problem with that. That's why I'm exposing it. All wars are bankers' wars. Maybe you've heard that. They fund both sides of the wars. It's been going on for a long time. Now on the older vehicles, like the trucks here, they could run on water. There's a retrofit system that Stanley Meyer created. They killed him for not selling out and shutting up. There's the moon right over the top of that light there. See it? It's a full moon right now. Whoa. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm gonna try and make sure that my sound is working right. So it's dropping into the clouds now. Or I should... Anyway, the clouds move, the moon is moving, the water is moving, just not the earth. And then the sun is going to come up way over there, behind the, in the marsh over there. I don't know where the cloud layer will be then, how much we would be able to see. That's showing up pretty good. The moon gives off its own light. Obviously, there's no sunlight shining on it from here that we can see. Otherwise, it would be lighting up the sky, right? Yeah, that's how it actually works. The sun and the moon have a limited throw of light, just like these lights here on the pier. Yeah, I've got a lot of documentaries that cover all this information. It may be new to you. I meet people often that don't realize the global deception, the global lie. So now, take a look at that. Why would they lie? Why would they lie about that? Well, it's basically to hide the creator, the creation, to deceive. Apparently ChatGPT and XAI is their global programs. They're going to be programming people with the globe lie, of course, and many other lies. I don't know if you've ever heard people ask Siri about Jesus. Don't know much about Jesus. Now the automated supercomputers, quantum computers, are used for malevolent and benevolent applications. I'm using it to expose the truth, and Satan and his family are using it to expose, or I should say to perpetuate the deception. That's just the way it is. This is one of the locations I've put a sticker of mine. No, those aren't aliens. Those are just lights. So now we've got a whole bunch of alien deception information coming out. As best I can tell, the aliens that people are referring to aren't intergalactic, they're interdimensional beings. We've got a firmament that's above us. We live in like a big terrarium. It's a big one. You can see documentaries showing the ice wall in Admiral Byrd's adventures. And did they mind control him? And apparently he was a Mason as well. We've got Masons and Satanists and all kinds of deception. How are you going to figure it out? So I've got a high concentration of truth on my channel, and I'm exposing the deceivers. So you're going to see the deceivers there too. That's just the way it is. And so divine intervention is required to love and believe the truth, let alone find it. How will you recognize the truth when it's right in front of you? This was one of the methods that I believe the Almighty wanted me to use to expose the truth, is to cross over the digital quarantine and show people. My name is not easy to spell. A lot of times I have to spell it for people multiple times. It works as computer code though, just like my phone number. So you can type it in a search if you like. That's where I like to park, my preferred parking spot. You can see we're going uphill there, right? I would hope. So they'll come on down here and they'll look at that, and maybe they'll question, I haven't seen a Truthmobile before. I would hope that's what they would think. So that camera right there and other cameras that are located around here are being monitored by the AI perpetually. That's just the way it works. While they're online, are we going to have an internet crash? Are we going to have the power grid go down and the internet and cellular go down? Perhaps. Some areas it happens. It could happen here at any time. And then what? What'll that be like? Well, one of the reasons why I believe that they're going to keep the internet up quite a bit is because it's part of the control mechanism to perpetuate the grand illusion. There we go. That's my cooler there. In fact, that little cooler is a little 52 quart Igloo, or it's an Igloo cooler. There's a Liberty engine you can see on my channel that could make an electric vehicle or perpetual driving machine. Doesn't require any outside fuel source. It's powered by magnetism. Oh, it violates, supposedly, by some would say, oh, it can't work, it's impossible. It violates the law of thermodynamics related to energy conservation. Over unity's not possible, blah, blah, blah. So what I would say is, how about investing in pumping oil or digging coal out of the ground? Apparently that they get more out than they put in with that, right? They get to poison people with it, with the coal and with the oil and the gas. And then, as if it weren't enough poison, then there's a 10% or so ethanol in the fuel supply, much of it, that has atrazine and Roundup, and then when it's combusted, it becomes airborne. Then carbon monoxide and all kinds of nasty chemicals when we could run clean and power the world with water. Why not do that? It's not profitable for the control structure, the existing one. I'd like to help see that change. There is a new heaven and a new earth that is going to happen. I'm not a date setter as to when the tribulation will either begin or continue. Some believe we're already tribulating, and certainly for those that are being polluted, poisoned, apocalyptic kind of settings with a fiery inferno in the areas where there's been wildfires and they've been burned up. That looked pretty serious to them. But each of us are one heartbeat away from eternity. And so, as I typically say, where will you spend forever and why? Why, I believe God determines that. Not based on performance, like he's the eternal judge that sits there and is scoring people on their performance. It's more of he determined before the foundation of the world who his children are, and by default or by determination as well, then Satan's children get to spend an eternity with Lucifer, the fallen one, the fallen angels, in hell. Now, people get all bent out of shape about that. I believe it to be true, that the Almighty is all-powerful. He's the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus Christ, also known as Yeshua, and those references I've mentioned, the Alpha and Omega, the Almighty, he lives in and through all of his children that are born of his Spirit now, or will be. He will eventually take up residence in them at some point in our human experience. So the wide variety of topics that I cover in my research library are, I believe, everything that really matters. And then beautiful, relaxing nature videos, hard-hitting documentaries exposing the truth. It's all pretty important stuff, I believe. I was thinking about backing up a little bit, but this is fine. I'm not sure. So the sunrise is more than an hour away. I don't know that I'm going to be on for that long. Probably not. It's a pretty long time to talk without getting my channel taken down. I've got to be very guarded about what I talk about because of the algorithms and the censorship. That's what's going on, a lot of censorship. So I believe the truth is the most censored topic there is. That's how that works, is that we're given just an overwhelming amount of deception and matters of little to no significance. Distraction and deception. That's what we get a lot of. How frustrating is that? I got really good grades in school with very little effort. I applied myself in class, set an excellent example as a role model for applying myself and diligently working and getting honor roll, A and B honor roll easily without taking any homework home. I don't know how that would work now, but that was my experience in Hortonville, Wisconsin. And then I worked on a farm as well, learned a lot from farmers. They helped me to understand that the government was not trustworthy, that they manipulated the price of food and fuel. And then my dad worked selling steel to the military industrial complex and heavy industry in the upper Midwest, Wisconsin, upper Michigan, and in that. So selling steel to Oshkosh Truck that makes a lot of the platforms that carry weapons and personnel. And then they also make cement mixers and so take a look at this structure. It can withstand a lot of wind and rain and storm surge. Steel reinforced concrete is very durable. And it can be made even more durable than a lot of the commercial concrete that's available. Like if you've got a military installation, there's going to be certain specifications that are going to make it stronger and tougher. And so we could have homes that are built out of insulated steel reinforced concrete. I've got it on my channel. You can see it in my research library. My research library is related to my name and my phone number because I could get booted off of YouTube and maybe other platforms. If you like a video, actually click the like button, even if another producer made it. I've got thousands of channels that have created content that's in my library. It's not a me show. I'm not saying look at me and look at what I'm doing per se. It's although having a card that I could give to somebody, or like that sticker you saw on the walkout there, This is the close-up version of it. But there's some on the pier, and they're at stoplights and crosswalks and that in this area. And I've had people tell me they've seen them in California, and they're all over the place. You could, so like I literally get calls any time of the day or night. That's fine with me. If I can't take the call because I'm either too tired or occupied with other activity, it can go to voicemail. We can correspond with texts or links. I typically don't argue with people on the phone. I sometimes have to block the chat bots. Perhaps they are. I don't know. What is the difference between a mind-controlled, deceived individual and a chatbot? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. They may have when they're sentient, when they're aware of themselves. Where will they spend forever and why? Those are questions I don't have the exact answer for, because it's not over until it's over. That's part of what to consider. A human being that is deceived has a computer for a brain, somewhat, a consciousness, an awareness, and then an interaction with the intelligence that's all around us. The high-powered technology coming through the Wi-Fi and the cellular data stream. So we can be influenced by forces that we can't see. And then, of course, there's the spiritual deception. To complicate matters a bit, Scripture says in 2 Thessalonians 2:11, they refused to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a strong delusion. So they're going to be deceived, and God is going to help that to happen. Who are those individuals, those entities? Well, if they're possessed by Satan, well, apparently they're his children, and then what? What happens when that combination of a person / demon or Satan perishes? Will it be just Satan that experiences the hell forever along with the fallen angels? Some believe that the human being, whatever part of that combination exists, just is annihilated. So that would be the doctrine of annihilism, or believing that the human being just is done away with, terminated permanently with no awareness. These are things you're going to need to work out. Eternity is a long time to regret. I believe it's so important to be born of the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, that there should be evidence of that. Oh, wow. Looks like a sandpiper is up there walking around. In the parking garage, I don't know that you'll be able to see him up there. Anyway, rather than... okay, so I could have a belief that's either accurate or inaccurate. It's either right or wrong on that. Mutually contradictory perspectives can't both be correct. They may both be wrong. There may be another possibility or many possibilities. So now that's a good segue to go into either the multiverse or the simulation hypothesis. Elon says that there's 1 in a billion chance that we're in a base reality. I say that's false. I say that we live in a base reality and that we also live in a simulation with many possible outcomes. So that's my take on it. And is that accurate? I believe so. By definition, what we believe to be true. So before I got banned from Twitter, some of the architects of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and robotics were publicly following me. It was disappointing and frustrating to get disconnected from that platform. My research library has been tweeted and or direct message to thousands of celebrities, politicians, governments, the alphabet agencies, all of that. And the so-called artificial intelligence, it's not actual, that's somewhat, I believe, a misnomer. It's very intelligent and it's real intelligence. It's not artificial. And the Almighty flows through it, and the usurper, and that's the fallen one, the devil, and the representative families flow through it as well. I'm in it right now. You're not actually seeing me. You're seeing a digital capture, transmission, and reassembly of me. Anything you see on a screen like this is just like that. There's no human being that I'm aware of that's looking at me directly with their own actual eyes. Could be. I mean, I'm not all paranoid and I'm not afraid. Here comes that bird. He's flying around. Now he's running around. Let's see if I can zoom in on him. He kind of blends in on the surface there. There he is. He's kind of a concrete color. Here he comes. I've not seen that before while I've been in here. Do 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 do. Do do do. There's not a lot of food for you here. If you're hungry, you should go to the ocean. Go to the beach. A lot more for you there. Unfortunately, a lot of times these birds don't make it. They starve to death or something. I see them. But that is, I believe, a sandpiper. There you go. Yeah, there you go. There's food there. Water there, too. I enjoy animals. I've got 3 cats. They're naked kitties. That's a Sphinx kitty. Smeagol looks like Mr. Bigglesworth on Austin Powers. He's hilarious. Dean Martin looks like a gargoyle. He follows me. They all follow me around when I get home. Dean will greet me at the door of the garage. I can hear him when I back in the garage. I can hear him meowing. Either that or he's just up in there waiting for me to come through and he's staring at me from some location. Typically on my bed. My bed is a Select Comfort air mattress on top of leveled out billiard table, a solid oak billiard table. Couldn't even have a friendly game of billiards. Billiards if we were spinning, wobbling, gyrating, and a bunch of contradictory movements. I've got some video showing my pool table. I don't play much pool there. I could take the mattress off in a couple of minutes and set up for playing pool. It's I wanted to get it out of the garage. The garage was way too hot to play pool in, and I wanted to put the Truthmobile in there. Works out a lot better for loading, unloading, and being protected. We've got some people coming by. Friendly enough. That's one of the other reasons why I'm here. Is this is it's a high traffic area. So my short version for people is I'll say Google my name, guaranteed to blow your mind. So that's what I do with that. I'm exposing the truth about everything. If you think I've missed something, you could put it in a comment, give me a call, send me a text. What's not to like about that? There's information that I'll include that I find out. People send me information from all over the world through cyberspace. The space program, NASA, the fallen ones, the Department of Defense, the CIA, and all the other agencies are interested in the space between your ears, your brain, and how can they manipulate. Satan wants your soul, and the Almighty has determined who his children are. Predetermined. I like that. I'm off the hook for where people spend forever. I don't have a Messiah complex. I'm not the Messiah. That's already been taken. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go for a little drive over to the Coastal Preserve again and see what it looks like there. We'll see how much light we've got. Now when I start up the car, I don't have a big belch of smoke coming out like I used to. I believe it was old fuel for a variety of reasons. I was using another vehicle for the longer distance driving, and was a friend that allowed me to use it. It was a Mercedes. He's got it back, and I have an empty driveway when the Truthmobile is in the garage, or the Truth Cycle. I like it like that. It's more secure. And because I'm on a live stream, it's obvious that I'm not in my house right now. The Almighty is. And He's my security. He's in charge of my security, my eternal security, and for here and now as well. That's comforting. Should be able to see the moon in the upper left again. There it is. Hard to see over that house. So the The moon set is just a little bit before 6 o'clock from this location. So I don't know that I'm going to see it anymore from here. I noticed it over the gazing pond as I was on my way. Ah, there it is. I'll try and put it right in the middle of the view. About. There it is. Hard to see through the clouds. I'm going to take us back over by the gazing pond and show you a different type of water. It's a, how would I say? It's a retention pond. It rises and falls through culverts that go under the roadway, and so it doesn't have the big waves of the open ocean. It's like a big gazing pond. Oh, okay, no parking at the fire hydrant, so I can park right here. We'll be fine. Yep, there's that anomaly again where the lights are not turning off the way they're supposed to. There's a lot of health benefits with the water that's got the salt in it, the sea salt and the boron. There you can see the mirror that is. I think that's pretty spectacular. And so the moon is right behind those clouds there. I'm trying to zoom in a bit. There we go. So one of the realities of the world we live in is the surface of undisturbed, unmanipulated water is flat and level. You can't have level on a rotating water sphere hurling through space. That's all imaginary. It's ridiculous. So for the people that believe that we're spinning, wobbling, gyrating in a variety of contradictory movements that can't be felt, they're deceived about that. They may be deceived about a bunch of stuff. Could be. At least that, for sure. What's ironic is some of those people will point to a belief that the Earth is not a globe as evidence that we're out of touch with reality. How ironic is that? Oh well. Yeah, it's the way I found it. It's pretty messed up. We don't know what we don't know. One of the reasons I like to spit a lot is because the mucus traps the airborne particulate, quite a bit of it. And then when it's combined with the hydrochloric acid and the digestive tract, it creates different substances that apparently can cross over the blood-brain barrier and are manipulated by sophisticated electronic mind control technologies, silent weapons for quiet wars. So part of what you get with me in my commentary on this is actually quite a bit of information you may be unaware of. I don't know what you don't know. I don't know what you know. I don't even know what I don't know. What I do know is that we've been lied to a lot for a long time about almost everything that is significant. So in a little bit we should see hopefully we'll see the moon soon. It's right in the middle of the view there behind that cloud bank. And the sun is going to appear right over there. At about 6:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Seeing it appear a little bit better. This is just an iPhone Pro Max 11. It does a pretty good job. I've got very high-powered zoom camera work on my YouTube channel and Facebook. You can go to the videos category and see it. A lot of fish activity down here. There we go, seeing it more. The Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars landing video on my channel covers a wide variety of topics and platforms that allow it to be exposed more than YouTube or Twitter, now X.AI or XAI. And the hashtag of my name is the reason why I put that there is so people will search it. Because if you just type truth in a search, you're going to have a hard time finding what's actually true. That's for real. So yeah, that is in fact the moon right there in the middle of the view. And that's the Prince Resort where we were just at the parking garage. So right about in the middle of that bright spot is where the sun will appear. In the winter, from this vantage point, it comes up way over there. That's the way it is. That's how it works. So I'm going to say it again. I know I've said it before. It goes like this, where the sun and the moon appear and vanish on the horizon, in their duration of visibility, especially between one another through the days and seasons, days of the month and the seasons, varies quite a bit, indicating conclusively that they're moving above the stationary level Earth. That's the reality of it. It's not popular. People love so many deceived individuals love their globe. They love their globe that they were brainwashed in when we went to school. I just wanted to know the truth about it all. I had enough of the deception. So these people that are promoting the globe lie are also, in many cases, promoting the godless cosmic Big Bang. And then those that are claiming to be born-again Christians are simply deceived about that, about the globe. And I believe that puts their credibility right in the toilet, especially if they've been promoting all kinds of other deceptions as well. Like whatever their cosmology is and their eschatology. Eschatology is the view of end times. So there's a lot of different beliefs of who the Antichrist is and what about the rapture and pre, mid, or post-tribulation rapture. And there's so many different, there's a spiritual smorgasbord that people are dining on. So much deception, so little truth. I could go to the pier. There's just I believe I should go to the Point right now. The Point in Cherry Grove. It's where I was hit by lightning some years ago. It was a test. Now, before I was born again, I would have thought that God wanted to see what I would do. Now that I'm actually born again, for real, I know that He knew what I was going to do. He wanted me to see what I was going to do. So I was recording 5 Vietnamese surf fishermen, and I was holding my Tommy Bahama lightning rod umbrella. I had gone out to the Point that day on the motorcycle, the original Truth Cycle, the 1983 Honda Shadow 500. You can see it in my research library. And I knew that having all the equipment that I had, a computer and also a phone and pictures, camera, if I was more likely going to get wet trying to transfer all my stuff out to the motorcycle and then get on that bike and go for a ride. And what I believe the Almighty wanted me to do was to keep recording, so I did. And there was a lightning strike that I felt go through my body, and so apparently the fishermen did too. You can see them if you go to my channel and put in the hashtag in the search bar, struck by lightning, you can see that. It actually cracked the glass on my phone, wiped out the power, took all the power out of it. I don't know exactly what the purple lights are. Some believe it's some form of identification. It's like a black light. maybe to identify something on people like a tattoo. I've seen it at clubs before. Ooh, I've got a car and a jogger. Wow. A jogger with no good lighting. There, he's on the sidewalk. Wow, that was really hard to see him. Oh, it's golf cart parking only in this spot. Okay. All right. They went to a paid parking system, so it costs $3 an hour to park during certain times between 9 and 5, 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. So I'm not gonna be here during the paid time at all. Just not able to get the clarity I'm looking for. That's probably about as good as it's going to get. So I haven't been out here for actually quite some time with a live stream, that is, or a recording. I'm just going to try and make this transition quickly. So I'm still recording, but I want to get this together as quick as I can. Okay, there we go. Now, I may end up losing my live stream. I'm not sure, but I'll see what I can do. Okay, so that light right there will appear in that puddle when I move over a little bit. See that? See how that works out? I hear a mockingbird. One time I was out here and a mockingbird landed on my head. I had a hat on and landed right on me. It was pretty cool. Okay, so I'm that shadow on that sign right there. Ooh, okay, so right over the top of the pier there is the moon set. Wow, interesting. And about 2 miles further down the road is the Cherry Grove Fishing Pier. I'm glad I did this. That turned out pretty nice. So the Prince Resort is about 2 miles over there, and the moon set obviously is right there. So it bounces around through the month and through the seasons. I've seen it set way over there at different times. So it's moving out of our view, moving away from us. Let's see how that works. Set it down. I would say this granite pile, right about 100 feet in front of us. You can see it if you like. So from this vantage point, the sun will appear right over here in winter, and today it's coming up right over there. So one of the questions that I ask people, I'll have you consider, how deceived can you actually be and love the truth? I put it that way because what I mentioned in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, what God's word says is they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a strong delusion. So when people are believing obvious lies, how are they going to get to know the truth? It's going to require divine intervention. The Almighty is going to need to help them. That's how I got here. He helped me know that what I had believed was not true. It's okay. I mean, I was bamboozled just like others were. However, the reality that's going on here is people are clinging to their godless cosmic Big Bang because they want to do their own thing, as best I can tell. Even if they're spreading Jesus all over it, doesn't make it real, doesn't make it true. He's the one that makes it for real. The Almighty makes it happen, not us. So right out in this location as well, I captured one of the best local sunrises I've ever seen. It's 2 minutes and 23 seconds long of the sun appearing to be in the clouds where Job 37 says it is. So I know there's dynamics like atmospheric cleansing and all that. It's just that it's obviously not 93 million miles away. So there are a lot of rocket launches with technology being put up into the atmosphere, and then there's high-powered technology, I believe, bouncing frequencies onto the dome or putting it up onto the firmament. You can read about the firmament in Genesis 1. I don't spend so much time talking about this because I just gotta be right. I know I'm right. I know I'm right about the nature of our reality, the need to be born of the Holy Spirit, and that we're in a battle. Technology is one of the weapons for good and evil, both. Truth and deception are primary weapons. So people reflect off of the water, and they reflect on their lives, past, present, future. Look at how much clearer we can see the reflections now. It's just the way it works. It's just the reality of it. Higher is drier all over the face of the stationary level Earth. It's the way it works. To put those ladies in the view, I would need to drop my lens down.
There they are.
See there, it's easy to see where the drier sand is. Higher is drier. I'm going to just let it roll with nature sounds for a while. I'll be back to make some commentary. I just think it'd be kind of nice to let you hear the waves and watch the beauty of all this. In a little bit, there should be a bunch of birds coming this way as the tide comes in. So one of the things that I'd like to say is ask a question, or to answer a question, do we make a difference? I would say, and more importantly than what we do is what he does through us. So that when I obey, I'll speak for myself. When I obey and do what I believe that I'm created to do, the Almighty uses me for His glory. And that's why I do this. Because this is actually really important. People's lives, eternity are at stake. So I want to obey and do what the Almighty wants me to do. He takes care of the results. I'm not responsible for the results. I'm simply responsible for the obedience. One of the things that's kind of funny, I've actually been out here when one of my friends and local subscribers came on out here and said, "Hey, I saw you were out at the point. I wanted to come out and talk to you." This is known as the Point in Cherry Grove, South Carolina. North Carolina is a short distance from here, within a couple miles, I believe it is, in the direction of the view. The water is really warm. It's like 85 degrees or so, very comfortable. So I bathe in a powerful blend of electrolytes and purified water. I have a tablespoon of the following of each of the electrolytes. Epsom salt, which is magnesium sulfate, baking soda, sea salt, boron, apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, and also 7 drops of each of the 2-part chlorine dioxide solution. I take 7 drops of that solution of each of the 2 parts and also add a little bit of water to it and drink it. It kills parasites. It's a water treatment. You can get it at Walmart. I get mine from Amazon. I did a Black Friday video of that, and my video was taken down, and I was threatened to have my channel taken down, talking about the benefits of it. So you can look in my research library and see what the water purification benefits of it are. The other important reality is I've got an insulated tub because it's modern construction with PVC plumbing and a composite tub. It's disconnected from the benefits of being grounded, so I have a ground wire going to my electrical system and into the water. I cut the other 2 prongs off and taped them over. So I definitely would not want to be in the bathtub during a lightning storm. Unless God wanted me to be, then I would do it. But I simply want to obey, to do whatever I'm supposed to do. So let me pan on around here again. And so when I'm in the ocean like this, I'm grounded to the earth electrically. You can see the documentary and the reality of being grounded. Earthing is another term for it. Earthing or grounding. So like I mentioned, the people reflect off of the water, off of the wet sand. They're more than reflective optically, it's reflective on the past, present, future, hopes, dreams, fears, all of that. And that's one of the reasons why I come to the beach so often. On a busy year like 2019, we had over 20 million guests come to this location, the Grand Strand. It's like 60 miles of sand, coastal area. It's the Gulf capital of the world, apparently, and then people will come here to enjoy the beauty and majesty of creation. A lot of families. This is the more family-oriented area. People come for honeymoons, memorials, sports competition, all kinds of competitions, all kinds of events. Looks like we should see the sun appear pretty soon, right about in the middle of the view there. Pretty close. That's the bright spot. If you hashtag local sun, you should see my work or the videos that I've done. One on Facebook that went through a lot of the Facebook groups has almost a million views. And in that occurrence, I've had my research library shared literally millions of times. Thousands of thousands is millions. And I continually add to it with the help of others. Wonderful content creators. Even some of the deceivers create wonderful content. Just have to learn when they're exposing the truth or the deception. Right now, because of elevation, the top of that cloud is getting lit up by the sun directly. That's how that works. So some would say, why does it matter? Well, I'm sorry to hear people say that. However, that's the answer some people have. The truth matters. The more important the question, the more important an accurate answer to that question is. It's mocked, ridiculed. People get uninvited to events. They get killed, depending on what they're exposing. You can see the technology that I'm exposing in my research library, how we could clean and power the world with water or magnet motors. Can actually cut rock or melt rock or cut steel with water, HHO, molecularly dissociated water. Run it through an engine. You can see a motorcycle, generator, and a car running on water or hydroxygen, HHO. So I'm a free man sharing a message to set other people free. Free indeed. Bible.com is God's Word in thousands of languages, many translations. And you can download it. The most important place to have God's Word is hidden in my heart, to me anyway. There, I'm starting to see the sun right now.
There it is.
I've got real close-up views and videos on my channel if you want to see it. Lots of them. It's like a laser beam running across the surface of the water and wet sand. Oh, here comes a bunch of birds. They're excited about it too. Check them out. So what I'm going to do, I want to pan this around and show you where the moon set was from this vantage point right now, right over the top of the pier there. So one of the other realities is that sometimes people are curious when they'll see me out here or they'll see the Truth Mobile, the Lexus, and they'll want to know the truth about what. So what I say is the truth about everything. And if you think you missed something, like I say, you can give me a call, send me a text if you care to. These shoes are called cane. They're made out of sugar cane. They're almost a year old and they're like brand new. Best shoes I've ever had. Interesting fact about those is the moment I saw them, I saw them in my imagination for years, and then I saw them in the real world when a friend had them on. And I ended up getting a pair of them because they were just what I was looking for, actually. Let me show you since I'm talking about it. It's a one-piece injection mold sugarcane shoe. I can run with them, and the other thing is they're real easy to use on the beach. They can get wet and they dry off real easy. So some people are searching. They're looking for stuff. I just wanted to search for the truth. And I found it. Actually, he found me. Because the truth is more than an ideal, it's a person. It's the Creator. I believe Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. See how long the shadows are in the morning when the sun is low on the horizon? Wow. So thanks for watching. Thanks for your public and private encouragement. I'm going to continue to keep this going for a bit. So in a world where knowledge is power, truth is most important, is all powerful. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. People not knowing what they're going to do. I would say what I'm going to do is obey. I'm going to obey the Most High and let everybody else deal with it. I've been saying it for years. I'll keep on saying it. More importantly, I'll keep on doing it. The only substitute for obedience is disobedience. Who are you going to obey? I'll obey the Almighty. He's all-knowing. He's all-powerful. It doesn't matter how many letters people have around their names or digits in their Monopoly money banking account. Where will you spend forever and why? Most important question anybody can ask. What would it profit a man if he gained the whole world and lose his soul? Jesus says that to everybody forever. So with thousands of content creators in my research library, if you like a video, it becomes your liked video if you actually click the like on the video itself. So that even if my channel is taken down, there will be thousands of opportunities to have content that I've selected to share. It'll be easier for you to find. That's why I describe it like that. It used to be that people could share my whole playlist by adding it to their channel, and you can still do that. It's just that it'll be private because our saved playlists or added to our library are now private. That happened about a month ago. It's another form of censorship. They don't want people to have a comprehensive library of videos. So if you like a video, then you can go to that channel and see if they have other videos you would like and like to add to your library. They're making it, the censorship is getting tighter and tighter, and yeah, that's happening. So was I banned from Twitter for exposing the truth? Probably. I believe so. Will that change? I hope so. I would like an opportunity to continue to expose the truth there. You can give me a call if you like, anytime. Or text me if you care to. Let's see, I'll make the lighting a little more obvious there for you. This is a collaborative effort of exposing the truth. It's complicated, especially with all the censorship going on. All right, I think I'm gonna call her Call her a video. Thank you for your public and private encouragement. This is Robert Forsch with The Truth.